What's up YouTube, Card Boss here, back with Binder Talk episode 12. We're just one more week away from the start of the 2021 NBA season, and already the card market is sizzling. That's quite expected, and this season is going to be the first normal NBA season we hope to have in the last 2 years after coming out from the pandemic. From the cards perspective, all the usual suspects are trending up. Kevin Durant, LeBron Lakers, and some outliers from preseason like Jordan Poole and KPJ. I'm not going to talk about these guys because their trends are pretty obvious at this time. So instead, I'm going to give my 5 investment picks and 5 traps heading into the first few months of the season. The new backcourt dynamic duo for the Chicago Bulls might be just the real deal here. Chicago has made some moves to really take them up to the next level, and the preseason has shown some flashes of what's coming. Somehow, the Lonzo to Levine connection seemed to be a little bit more promising than the Lonzo to Zion tandem, as we expect to see lots of pace and cuts to the basket, and with Levine's ability to finish at the basket or drift wide for a corner three, that's something to really watch. Both have underappreciated rookie cards, and this could be the season Bulls might turn it around. And it's like Lonzo and Levine could be leading the charge here. I'll probably stay away from the base rookie cards and to go up the ladder if you can afford it. Levine's 2014 Prism Silver PSA 9 last close was $7, a fair price given it's a pop 37, while Lonzo Prism Blue Rookie out of 199, a PSA 10 holder, is also around that price. Fine entry points if you ask me. Small caution though, Chicago might be expected to perform well into the regular season, but postseason could be an entire different matter if they make it. So if you guys are planning to buy in, I'll watch the prices closely 2/3 into the season and consider cashing out before the playoffs. The Suns surprised everyone last season, and they managed to stay healthy for most of last season, which took them all the way to the finals. Barring any injury, many will expect them to do well again this season. But you have to consider a few things. Lakers have reloaded, Utah improved their bench, and the Warriors are back healthy again. And the Suns only added JaVale McGee and Landry Shamet. Phoenix Cars isn't a buy this season, not because their prices will trend down. It's more like there might not be any opportunity for them to grow unless something drastic happens to the rest of the Western Conference teams that I just mentioned. I did some homework on Devin Booker's cards this offseason, and his rookie autos can be had under $500, which you might consider a steal given that he just came off the finals. But I got a feeling that this $500 might just be $500 come April. So I'm putting my money in better picks. If you guys watch one of my earlier videos, I'm just not high on this draft class, especially the top 5. Each of these rookies are good individually, but just not hobby market shattering. This class, like any other class before them, will drive box breaks, and there will be some value to compensate the already expensive wax prices. But I'm extremely concerned that these prices may just be a short flash in the pan, and with the fire dissipating quickly as the season moves along, you don't want to be the one holding a hot potato. So I will personally stay away from this class, but if you have to pick one rookie as a spec, I'll take a close look at Indiana Pacers' Chris Duarte. You'll probably be thinking, what? Pacers? To be fair, it's no different when you compare to a team like Raptors adding Scottie Barnes. But Duarte has been a conversation in some Ben Simmons talks for some time now, so let's see how that materializes. All in all, among all the rookies this season, I like Duarte's play and situation he is in right now with Solid Tutor and Rick Carlisle. Stay away from the base cards though, and pick up an RP or two, on card if possible, and hold. Damian Lillard has a lot on the line this season. New coach, new supporting cast, new system. His cards have been more or less stable of late after his heroics in the 2019 season bubble. It goes to show that Dame's cards has potential to skyrocket given the right circumstances, and all it might take is just a 5 to 6 game winning streak to really drive his prices upwards very quickly. I wouldn't load up, but his 2012 base Prism PSA 10 at $750 might be a fine spec, but not more in a handful in quantity. But what if things don't pan out? Well, it's a tough one really. If you are buying into Dame, you really need to pay close attention into every detail. Terry's thought system basically allowed Dame to bombs away and surrounded him with players to create space. This year, the emphasis is on defense and transition, so it will be interesting to see how Dame's game has evolved to Coach Billups. Will that translate into better stats and more wins? I hope so. His card prices depend on that very fact. I really like Boston this year. Sure, they lost some firepower in Kemba Walker, but they still have Tatum and Brown, which is enough to beat a lot of teams every night. Tatum's base Prism PSA 10 fell off the $700 mark from end of last season, down by almost half to $350. Still a good pickup, as Boston will surprise many other teams in the East. Jaylen Brown, might have another all-star year this year, and this could be what he needs to cement himself in a hobby. Probably not to Tatum's level, but I can see his and Levine's cards trending to the same level. That being said, among all my 5 picks in this list, I'm the least excited about Boston's selection, purely on a high perspective. You will get your money gains from Tatum and Brown, but they are going to be less fun to watch when you compare to a team like Chicago. Don't get me wrong, Steph Curry is an awesome player, and he still is. The problem I have is that his prices are already so way up, and it's just not smart money diving more capital into his already high prices. Does it still have room to grow? Possibly, but when you compare this to my other picks in this list, I just don't see shelling out so much money with so little return. I honestly think like Kevin Durant here is a much safer play, particularly that he has a clearer road to the championship, but the Warriors do not. On the opposite side of the spectrum, second-year center James Wiseman is coming off an injury-plagued season. It might be too early to judge the potential returns on investment, but this season is a very important season for Steve Kerr and the Warriors, and barring any further injuries, the situation might not be ideal for Wiseman to be given a chance to develop. As such, his prices could be very depressed for just one more year. I probably get a number of thumbs down for this, but my argument is the same as Steph Curry. Luka has accomplished a lot in his young NBA career, and his card prices reflect that. What Luka needs now to take his cards to the next level is a championship, or at least close to one. But Dallas didn't make any significant moves this season, and did not address 2 big holes in their roster, which is shooting and defense. Luka is probably going to hit all his stats again, but given how high his prices are, though it did come down a little in the past couple of months, don't make Luka an exciting play for me coming into this season. Again, I'm not saying his card prices are coming down anytime soon, but I'm not as high as Luka from investment upside perspective compared to the next guy I'm going to talk about. MPJ finally got his max deal, and this year he's going to prove that he's worth every dollar. Great sophomore season for him, but the Nuggets will need Jamal Murray if they want to have a chance to advance. Won't stop MPJ from having a good individual season. His 2018 Prism Silver PSA 10 retraced from $1,000 high, but has slowly climbed back to around $800. The room to grow isn't as high percentage-wise when compared to other picks in this list, but the MPJ upside will go beyond this season for sure. I like MPJ more this season than Luka, to be honest, not comparing the talent, but where the team is heading and how much stats MPJ has left to show. You have to be annoyed with the attitude. The one-time All-NBA team, possibly with the skill sets to be a future MVP, just have his reputation tarnished with all the drama between him and the Sixers. Investors holding on to Simmons cards are in similar limbo, not knowing what lies ahead for this All-Star. For those who are thinking that a move, any move for that matter, out of Philadelphia will be positive for Simmons cards, think again. His likability factor has taken such a big hit that a lot of fans are just ignoring what's going on. Of course, he could be traded to a contender like Clippers or Golden State, but I'm not high on any of his cards at the moment given how small the upside is. His 2016 Prism Silver Rookie PSA 10 jumped from $1,000 in 2019 all the way up to $3,000, but have cratered ever since, and it's not going back up anytime soon. Maybe it's a play for next season, depending on where he lands, but I'll stay away for now. And finally, my favorite pick of the bunch here. The other Ball brother is looking to have a breakout season, and the Hornets has done enough to surround LaMelo to make this happen. His cast from previous year was already looking solid, so when you subtract Devontae Graham's 12 shots per game last season, which gives LaMelo more shots, and more assist targets with the Hornets adding rim-rolling Mason Plumlee and sharpshooter James Bouknight. Overall, LaMelo's non-high-end cards are still very much affordable, but we all know about the massive print runs from last year. And given that PSA has been more or less close, there aren't many graded LaMelos in the market yet. I still like picking up a whole bunch here to filter for the best grade targets and wait for at least a slightly cheaper regular service to send them all in. It might be an expensive bet, if say grading service was about $100 a pop, but it's a fair risk in my opinion, given how I see LaMelo's cards trending upwards by 30 to 50% over the course of the season, barring any injuries of course. So there you have it, my 5 picks and traps to kick off the season. My save money is on Kevin Durant this season. while my swings will be LaMelo Ball and PJ. I'll probably do an update on this list as the season moves along, so do follow, like, and subscribe and all that jazz for more content from me. Thanks for watching. Cardballs out.